Hey traders, Gates Adams here on behalf of Apex Trader Funding. I'm here today with Trader Darsh. I had a chance to communicate with him last year after his first payout. Well, we had a lot of time go by since then, so I'm kind of curious to see where things have been going from here. Darsh, welcome. Thanks for hanging out with me today, man. How you doing?
Hey, thanks, Gates. I'm good. How are you?
Dude, I'm doing fantastic. It's been a lot of fun, been a crazy year. A lot of things happening in the world of trading, in the world of Apex, in the world of my own trading but I love just hearing from traders about their journey, what's been going on with them. We spoke last year, Darsh, and that was your first payout ever, right?
Correct.
What's been going on with you in terms of your growth and development as a trader? What have you been up to?
Last year was my first payout, but I do want to. What we talked then, and I would just want to recall my first payout. It was hard just to get to that. Clear the evals. Once you clear the evals, then you get your prop account, and then once you get that, you finish the minimum threshold. You consistently trade. You have your strategy. It was a journey. And it still is a journey, right? After I got my first payout, I was excited, and then I kept on, and then I realized, okay, here's your strategy. This is what you're gonna do, and this
Mhm.
is how you're gonna keep moving forward. I did have a couple of payouts after, but what I used was a consistent strategy. I designed a strategy, and I knew on a given day when I'm going in, look at the market, look at your trend, and everyone has a different strategy. Everyone has a different
Sure.
plan. I knew what plan I had. I knew what I
Mhm.
wanted to do. And then I wouldn't want to trade every day, but when I would go in, I would always bring my A game. I would make sure that I'm mentally 100% there. I know my plan. I know my trade plan. I know my trade strategy. I know what I want to get out today, whether it's $100, $200, $500, $1,000, 5,000, whatever it is. I knew my plan. And so it took a lot of time for me to get back again in terms of withdrawals or getting payouts approved and whatnot. But I now know what I want consistent in terms of consistency. I now know exactly what I want to do. So I created that plan, and
Mhm.
it's been working out fine. Back again at it, having my first withdrawal. I'm closer to my second withdrawal, I could say. Fingers crossed. I think I'm doing all the right things. I'm hitting all the right buckets, right? So I'm just waiting for that moment. I am at that stage where I know what I'm doing consistently. As far as you have a plan, just go execute. Just don't overthink. Just
Very, very sage advice. Now, as you've gone through this process, because as we know as traders, there's a lot of ups and downs, man. We go through the highest highs, the lowest lows, and we have to keep it together through all of that. So since we last spoke, now you started getting a new sets of payouts. What do you think was the biggest challenge that you had to overcome going through this process?
Yeah, I think the biggest one for me was keeping my emotions aside, right? Stick to the plan, stick to exactly what you need to do, and just keep your emotions aside. It's okay to take the loss. Sometimes they don't work out for you. The worst, I wouldn't say the worst, but the toughest months for me in terms of trading were from January to March. And we all know in the world of economics what was happening, in the world of politics what was happening and whatnot, right? So not getting further into it, but that uncertainty kind of killed me. My trading
Yeah.
plan would say, let's go long here, and all of a sudden there'll be a news flash, and boop, the market would tank. And I'll get emotional, and I'll get, and I'll start average down and whatnot. But that keeping those emotions aside, knowing, okay, these things happen, and they do happen, and it's okay. Not everything's in your control. But you
Sure.
control the controllables. You don't control the uncontrollable variables. And as far as you have that, you stick to it. So I kept my emotions aside. It's okay. It happens. You blow up your accounts, you take the loss. It's okay to take the loss on any given play
Mhm.
versus averaging down, averaging out, averaging down, and then just lose the account altogether, right?
That's awesome.
You don't want to make that mistake.
Every single trader experiences these issues. I experience these issues to this day. I recently had a blow up less than 2 weeks ago. I know I'm not the only one, and I know that that's probably not going to be something that I fully am ever free of. But learning how to really keep things in check and really focus on what's truly important in the moment obviously is going to be a bigger factor in that long-term success, which is really what trading is all about. You can't judge each day by its P&L, right? So as you go through this experience and as you start to grow, were there specific things, specific actions or habits that you took that helped you sort of keep that more in check, that's gotten you to where you are now?
As you get to know more about what's going on in the market, and as you get to know what's going on in trading and whatnot, but me personally, I did realize that I was over trading, and I realized there are certain hours within the day when you really want to trade.
Right.
There's obviously the volatile is extremely high. Majority of the retail traders or traders, they come in at 9:30 to 10, and you see the volume spike just at the open, before the close, whatnot. I realized that it oftentimes, sometimes things work out for you, things don't work out for you. Some might call it unconventional, but I think the best plays I've made are in those non-volatile hours, because it could be
Mhm.
noon Eastern, 1 Eastern, 2 Eastern or so. When a trend is set, even though it's a
Mhm.
low volume, your risk is low, but your reward's also there. So
Sure.
for me, something I realized, it's not always at 9:30 you go in and go get that 800
All
bucks or
in.
500 bucks or whatever. No, all in. No, folks have made mistakes, and I've made mistakes, and I've done something wrong. But I think those unconventional hours, low volume hours, good strength, relative strength in terms of trend hours, they've worked out really fine for me. And so for me personally, that's something that I've realized. Just because it's working for someone else, millions out there or billions out there, it doesn't mean it's going to work for you.
Of
You
course.
realize what it's going to work for you and stick to it.
As a paid funded trader with Apex Trader Funding now several times over, we start to look at things a little bit differently when we kind of get through some of those barriers and some of those thresholds. What's next for you? What's like the next step for you? Are you in growth phase? Are you in, I'm going to keep things static and just build my accounts? What do you see like the next 3 to 6 months looking like for you?
I have two things in mind, right? So the first thing is obviously keep growing your account, keep growing your accounts, and grow your funds for sure. That's one. Second thing that I've started to do, I've started to socialize Apex a lot more.
Mhm.
And there's not a lot of futures traders.
Correct.
So I used to be an option trader, so I used to be a day trader, I used to be a stock trader, and there were the friends in community. I'm saying, folks ask me, what do you do? And I said, I trade futures. And they're like, no idea what you're talking about, right? So I help them explain. I explain them what's going on. I help them understand what is happening, what is futures, why you trade, why you don't trade. Here's a prop firm called Apex. Here's what it does. Here's how they play, and here's how it works out for you. Here's your risk, and here's your reward.
Mhm.
Risk versus reward. That's the play that you want to make. And look, I mean, that to me is more important. Is it's not just a win for me, but also win for others. Come up with the strategy, come up with the play. You learn from your mistakes, but you also want to help others grow. And so I'm trying to do that as well. I know I've convinced 3 people. I can tell for sure. I can guarantee I've convinced 3 people to at least try it out, create an
Sure.
account, test it out, see what it is. Maybe just as far as I can do that and help someone out there, it's definitely worth it.
Well, listen, it sounds like you're on a phenomenal trajectory right now. I can't wait to have another one of these, maybe a few months down the road, and really just get a deeper update on where you are after not just getting that threshold, but starting to see some consistency beyond that threshold. So continue doing what you're doing, man. I'm super excited for you and your continued growth. Glad to see you back here again. And thanks so much for hanging out and spending some time and sharing some wisdom with us today, man.
Certainly, Gates. Appreciate everything, and thank you. And obviously, thanks to you and the entire Apex team for making it possible. That's the most important, right? Creating that platform, enabling us. Not when I say us, as in the fellow traders who trade futures, who for everyone out there. Thank you so much. You've created that platform, which makes it easier for folks to grow their account. Pretty much what it is, right? And make money. Right? At the end of the day, that's all what we want to do. But so thank you for creating that platform. And I think second most important thing, thank you for those consistency rules. Thank you for
Mhm.
creating those rules so as people don't make mistakes. There are people who out there who might not like it, but believe it or not, these rules are important.
They
Yep, they help you. I've
I
realized
love
it.
that. I love
Yep.
that. And so beautifully said, man. Well, listen, again, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I can't wait to get an update from you here a little ways down the line, man. We'll talk to you soon,
Sounds
Darsh.
good. All righty. Thanks, kids. Cheers.